Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Voyo if you're new here. Actually, I should start by wishing you guys a happy new year. I've been watching the vlogs that I've been uploading and I realized that I haven't wished you guys a happy new year. So happy new year guys to all of you, and I wish you guys all a prosperous year. So currently I'm doing my makeup and I've been receiving messages from people saying, where are you? We miss you. We miss your vlogs. When are you uploading? Da, da, da. I just read another comment saying, we are tired of watching other people. We also want to see your videos. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. But they meant it in a good way. It was more like a joke how I read it. But anyways, I know that I have been missing in action, and I just want to tell you guys I just don't want to come back here and give you a vlog without an explanation, because I had promised that I'm gonna be consistent this year, and I'm gonna give you guys at least once a week. And I think I've been missing for 2 weeks, or I haven't been uploading for 2 weeks. This feels like the video that I filmed in Amsterdam 2 years ago, actually, because I'm filming in the bathroom in another country, and yeah, doing my makeup again. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys why I have been missing in action. First of all, don't mind, because I'm just gonna be moving because I'm doing my makeup and we have to go. We haven't eaten, so we also missed breakfast, so we just need to go and eat out. When the year started for me, I don't know, I was just saying that I don't know how I feel about 2025 actually. I'm just nervous about this year, and I don't know what this year brings. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just nervous about this year. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I have been praying. When I pray, I'm just like, Jesus, my heart desires, and I hope they are aligned with the plans you have for me, and may your will be done. Like, there are things that I'm still praying for. There are prayers that God has already answered for me. And yeah, I'm also hopeful for like the big things that I'm also including in my prayers, that He will remember me. But the most important thing is that I just want His will to be done. Maybe I may be praying for things. Sometimes we pray for things that are not aligned with God's plans for us. So for those things, if they don't happen, I will not be mad. I just want God to do what He does best, Yeah, I think that's how I feel about 2025. And I've also been feeling like some kind of, I don't know if it's imposter, I don't know. And that's also something that I'm praying about, because I'm like, why do I feel this way? Like, I know who I am. So let's go to why I have not been uploading on YouTube.
If you're looking for the perfect way to relax and relieve tension, the Bob and Bread back and neck massager is a must-have. What I love the most about it is how comfortable it feels when you use it. The soft, breathable fabric is gentle on the skin, and the design fits snugly around your neck and back, giving you that cozy, soothing experience every time. Inside the box, you get everything you need for a hassle-free experience. The massager itself, a charger, a remote control for easy adjustment, and a user manual to guide you through all the features. This massager has been a lifesaver for me, especially when I was in the hospital and even after coming back home. The soft padding and premium fabric made it extra comfortable to use, and the gentle yet powerful massage nods helped ease my tension and soreness. Whether I was sitting in bed or relaxing on the couch, it gave me instant relief. If you're looking for a massager that combines comfort, quality, effectiveness, I highly recommend the Bob and Bread back and neck massager. It's like having a personal massage therapist at home whenever you need it. To get yourself one, the link is in the description box. I've also pinned it on the comment section. Plus, I made sure that you guys also get a discount. So make sure you make use of that discount so that you can save yourself some coins. Thank you, Bob and Bread, for sponsoring this video.
It was really not my plan to just go quiet and not upload on YouTube. Last week, I think it was a Tuesday. It was just a normal day. I didn't do much on that day. We were at home. and we went to sleep. No, it was a Monday, and then we went to sleep. And then Tuesday morning, babe was his alarm had just went off. He was about to get ready for work. I happened to woke up just after him, actually. So when I woke up, I felt like I had this terrible pain on my chest, and I just didn't know what it was. I was just like, what is happening? What is this now? And I thought to myself, maybe I just didn't sleep well, And then, I tried to stretch and like sleep comfortably or lay, because I didn't have to wake up. I wasn't going to work. So I was still laying in bed. But this pain could just not go away. And I tried to like sit on the bed. And when I sat on the bed, my heart was racing. This pain was just too much for me. And so I texted babe, because he was in the living room. I texted him. I told him to come to the bedroom. And he came. When he came, I told him how I feel. And I asked him to make me water. And I was also like struggling to breathe. I asked him to make me water with sugar. And he did. He brought that to to me in the bedroom. And I drank just a little bit, but it was just not going away. I was like, he was also wondering, like, what is it? I was just like, no, I can't take this. And we decided to call the paramedics, the ambulance. When we called them, the first thing that they asked was, after asking the personal details, they were like, do you have a history of heart attack in your family? And I was like, no. They didn't ask a lot of questions, like besides the heart attack question. And they were like, your husband needs to stay with you at home, and we are coming. The paramedics is coming right now. I think for them it was also alarming. And within 3 minutes, they were already outside. And we went downstairs to like bring them to me. They came and they were like checking everything, checking my heart, da. And then they were also asking me questions. And when they were checking my heart, the thing was facing the other way, so I couldn't see what my heart rate was. And then they said to me, you need to come with us to the hospital. And I was like, do I have to come to the hospital? And they were like, yeah, we don't have heart equipment with us. So I just put on a coat and shoes, and I left with them with those, that machine. The paramedic was holding it, and I had like those plasters. I don't know what they called, honestly. And I went to the ambulance. Babe said he said he's gonna follow with the car, because he didn't know if I would come out like sooner or he did follow. And I left with the paramedics to the hospital. When we arrived at the emergency section, they attended to me very fast, actually. They were also asking me about the heart attack questions, and I'm like, and I still had this pain on my chest. And they immediately put the needle on my arm, like to take out blood samples and give me drip, and also monitoring my heart. And during all that time, when they were doing all that, I was alone. Babe wasn't there. It was just me and the doctors. And they said they took the blood, and then they said I have to go for x-ray, maybe to see if I didn't break a rib while I was sleeping or laying, something like that. I waited. They were taking a lot of blood from me that day. And so after all that, but they were not giving me like information other than asking me questions, So I was just thinking to myself, I don't know what is happening. I just, when you're feeling bad or when you're feeling sick, you just want to know what the problem is, like what could it be that you're having. And so I waited and waited. They were busy with me. Let me not say I waited. They were busy with me. But then they said I need to go to the x-ray. And then I went to the x-ray. I still had no answers of what is happening. Trust me, this makeup is gonna look good, guys. Trust the process. I know right now it looks horrible, or you're probably like, oh. But anyways, I'm gonna lose track of what I'm saying. And so while they were busy with all that, then I had to go to the x-ray. And so I went to the x-ray, and then I waited on the other side. And then they just put me there, and I was by myself. And yeah, as I was waiting there, they told me, oh, this monitor now for the heart, it was facing me, and I looked at my heart, it was around 140 something heart rate. And I'm like, okay, between 30 something and 140. So as I was waiting there, I was panicking, and I was feeling like so alone, even though Babe was coming. He came a few minutes later, and when I saw him, that's when now I started getting emotional. And when I got emotional, then that heart monitor started beeping so bad because I was emotional. He was going off like beep, beep, beep. He was like, you need to calm down because the doctors already said your heart rate is way too high. And it was very high. And he was also saying when I was at home, my heart rate was 156. I think this is information that the doctors wanted to keep from me because they didn't want to make me panic. They were also suspecting that I have a heart attack, And then, yeah, I tried to calm down, and I went for the x-ray. At this point, I still don't know what is happening. I went for the x-ray, and I went back now to the room where I was, the emergency room. They were pushing me with, on this bed. They were pushing me with the bed, the hospital bed. And yeah, I went back to the emergency room with the doctors. I think they were busy now looking at my blood and stuff. So Babe was with me the whole time now, during that time. And he was also busy with the health insurance people. The doctors came maybe after an hour of us waiting. There were nurses with us. They kept on monitoring, and they came. At some point they came and they took blood, and they couldn't take blood on this arm now because I had the drip. And then they had to, they took so much blood from me. They would try like everywhere, and also apparently they were struggling to get the blood. Anyways, the doctors came back, and they told me when I was on the bed, because I wanted to pee, they said, no, you can't get up because the doctors are still running blood tests, and until they know exactly what's wrong with you, you can go and pee. Otherwise, you will have to bring something that you can pee on. Like, no, I'm not gonna do this. At least I can walk, so I managed to keep it. And then when the doctors came, she said, good news is they did the test and they looked at my blood. Good news is it doesn't look like a heart attack. It doesn't look like I have heart attack, but I have severe anemia. What a surprise. It was actually not a surprise to me. This was not the first time I was hearing this. I knew that I had anemia, or I have anemia, but I just didn't take it serious. Many years ago, this time I think I was still young, when I was starting now to go to the doctor by myself, like without being accompanied by my parents. So when I went to the doctor by myself, the doctor did tell me that you have anemia, but I just put it at the back of my head, and I never heard about it since that doctor told me that I have anemia. No other doctor ever told me again that I have anemia. So I thought, maybe it's something that goes away. So when this doctor mentioned it, I was like, I've heard this before. And she was like, you knew? And I'm like, yeah. And then she said, what did you do about it? What did your doctor do about it? And I was like, yeah, at that time, I was given iron supplements, but to be honest, I never really followed up or paid much attention to it again, and I also changed doctors. And then she was like, we're not gonna let you go today. You're gonna have to stay at the hospital, and we need to also know where your blood is going, because this means that you don't have enough blood. So anemia is how do I explain this in simple terms? It means I don't have enough red blood cells in my body.
Actually, what happened is your heart rate over the night was increasing because red blood cells are transporting oxygen in the body through the veins to the brain, mainly to the brain, because there is the main usage of oxygen. If you are not doing sports, then it's muscles and stuff. Before you had the severe chest pain, you should have noticed that you are often dizzy. You should have noticed that you can't focus or concentrate so much.
I was getting lightheaded. I think I also mentioned this to you.
Yes, you're looking beautiful.
Thank you. It's hot here. Can you turn down the...
I already turned down at
To what?
16 degrees.
Yeah, as Babe explained, guys, that's what was happening. So I really struggle to explain this, but it's like I don't have enough iron in my body. Iron helps you produce hemoglobin, and hemoglobin is the main part that produces red blood cells, meaning I don't have enough red blood cells on my body because of the lack of iron, because of the lack of hemoglobin. Is that right, babe? I'm saying I don't have enough iron. Iron helps produce hemoglobin. Hemoglobin helps produce red blood cells in your body.
It's helping to produce red blood cells, exactly, and the red blood cells transport oxygen in your body.
Yes, exactly. The red blood cells transport oxygen in your body. So with me, someone actually commented on my videos and she said, Vuyo, I've noticed, they were not mean actually, she was just, I don't know if it was he or she, but they were saying, Vuyo, I've noticed that on your videos you are, when you're walking, you're always like out of breath. And I also like, and she said, you need to walk out. She said, I need to go to the gym and walk out.
This would have been the wrong way.
It would have backfired, right?
Whoever was suggesting this, don't make suggestions next time if you're not a medical staff.
Exactly.
Like, this is dangerous.
Yeah, and at this time, this was when I had picked up weight, and I was like, maybe they're right. Maybe because I had picked up weight.
This is also giving us a social lesson. Whenever you see something in the internet that is not adding up to your idea or standard, you should be very cautious of what you are commenting or telling people, because actually you never know what the person really is going through. Story, exactly. And I think nowadays this is with social media so bad. People are just commenting whatever.
I hope they can hear you with this.
Yeah, and I think be very careful with what you're commenting, because you never know the story that someone is going behind. If you're a naive person and you would have been a believer, you would have been like, yeah, this woman is right or this guy is right, and let me go to the gym. Actually, it would have made your problem even bigger. You could have passed out in the gym.
Yeah.
On the way back home in the train, you could have passed out because you have not enough oxygen anymore. Your heart rate is way too high and you died in this train. So people, be careful with what you're suggesting people if you have no clue what you're talking about. This is very, very dangerous.
And it did I was taken back a little bit. That's very true what you're saying. I was like, maybe they are right because I had picked up weight. Now I'm struggling to walk because of this weight. I actually totally forgot that I have anemia, or I was told that I have anemia. But then I was like, okay, I mean, I'll do something about it. But I don't think I responded to that person because I was like, what do I do? And like Babe said, it would have backfired because with me, I really, really struggle to walk, especially like on steep hills. Mom also said the same thing. She said, I've noticed that she has like a health problem because she struggles to breathe when she's walking and when she's taking long walks or when she's walking steep hills. So I really did pay attention to this, and I'm like, yeah, she was right actually. But anyways, so when the doctor, going back now to the hospital part, the doctor now said, I'm not going to be discharged. Probably going to have to get, she said I will have to get blood infusion. I think this is a lot of highlight. Oh my goodness. What do I do? She said I'm going to have to get blood infusion. So she's gonna, they're gonna arrange a bed for me. That's what they said when we left before we left the emergency room. Arrange a bed, comfortable bed for me. And they did that, and we went to my ward where I was gonna be sleeping. And they the other doctor now came and gave me an update, and she told me everything. She said they're gonna what was the reason why they didn't start with the blood infusion, babe? Because that doctor came and she said, I'm gonna give you iron infusion. Why did they opted for iron infusion instead of blood?
First of all, this is a very big process. Like, just putting blood from someone else into your blood is not that easy as the most people think. There's a lot of calculations be done and other stuff. Second of all, the world have a lack of blood, so they try to hold it back for the people that desperately need it. For example, people that had heavy accidents or so, so they need this urgently to survive, to not die. When they were looking at your
results
and everything, then actually there is a doctor which is sitting there calculating, is your blood still enough? Like, the lab is giving a lot of information you were seeing. It's actually 2 pages of results that they are taking for things that they are checking in your blood. And when they are saying like, no, the blood is still enough or good, or we don't need to do anything, they hold this back. For you, it was clear the hemoglobin, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on the camera, but it was very low, the amount. This is actually helping you better than when you would have a blood transfusion. Also brings risks and side effects to have this. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, they gave me iron instead of blood. And I was admitted in hospital. I knew that I'm going to stay in hospital. I stayed in hospital for the night, and the doctor gave us update saying that I might go home tomorrow because I'm going to get the iron infusion. So tomorrow, if I feel better, I can go home. So, yeah. I was hopeful that I'm gonna go home the next day. I was excited about that part because I didn't like the idea of, oh my goodness, this is a lot of. So yeah, I was staying in hospital now for the night. I knew that I'm gonna stay there for the night. Oh, sorry, I had to throw on this wig off camera. Just need to iron it a little bit. 1 second. Okay, so I was admitted in hospital. I stayed, and babe had to go home, get me some stuff like to change, to wash, showering stuff, and all that. And when he came back, the doctors, I got like, yeah. When he left, I was already like, they were already putting me on the iron. And when he came back, he stayed, and the doctors were keeping us updated. They actually, the doctor told us that they need to know, before they discharge me, they need to know exactly where this blood is going. Why am I losing blood? Where is the blood going? You know, I know that I'm someone, this might be too much information for some, but like when I have my period, I am like a heavy bleeder, so that could be the reason why. But then the doctor told us that that's also already enough information for them to have something to work on, because I lose a lot of blood when I'm on my period, but also they need to check me internally if there isn't internal bleeding, which means I would have to do they would have to do endoscopy, which is whereby they put the camera inside the stomach and inside my mouth, and it goes to the stomach and check what is happening. And they also put it behind on the bum, and then they check also what is happening. Endoscopy, I'm sure you guys know about it. And then the doctor said I could also do that at my GP, our house doctor. 1 second. So she said we could do the endoscopy at our house doctor, where I go for checkups. So and so, yeah, I was like, okay, if there's an option, then I think it's best if I do it at our house doctor, instead of me staying in hospital for something that could be done at the GP, you know. And we said, okay, we're gonna do it. They can discharge me the following day. So that was the initial plan, that the following day I'd be going home. But on the following day, okay, they stayed with me that night at the hospital, but he didn't sleep over, obviously, because he had to go to work now the next day. He went home and he... Oh, I forgot to switch this on. I'm using this to flat iron. So babe went home and I slept at the hospital. It was not a bad experience. Oh, the following day, someone woke me up, like from the lab. The doctors also were checking up, like throughout the night. They would come and see if everything is okay. And yeah. And so the following day, someone from the lab came. He woke me up. He told me that he wanted to take more blood before I get discharged. For sure, he took more blood samples, and he was also struggling at the veins. I had bruises when I left the hospital, actually, because it was a struggle to like get the veins and get enough blood for them. And so he took my blood, and I waited and waited, and then the doctor came. When the doctor came, she was actually standing at the door. She was on the phone and she kept looking at me and she looked serious, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's something from like personal, so she's still gonna come and update me. So she was looking at me and then she was talking, and then she came and then she said, actually we can't let you go today. The results came back terrible, like your hemoglobin has dropped drastically, way more than yesterday. But I'm like, I'm feeling better, how come? And she said it had dropped and you're gonna have to stay. And I'm like, really now? I mean, I want to go home. And she was like, we can't let you go. But anyways, yeah, I had no choice but to stay again at the hospital, and they were running more tests. And then she said, now the endoscopy, I cannot do it at the house doctor. They will have to do it in hospital, because it's like they wouldn't let me go without knowing what exactly is the problem. Like, where is this blood going? Maybe I have internal bleeding or something. And I was like, okay, fine. I called my husband. I told him, and he was at work. He couldn't take off the whole day, but he came back early to be with me at the hospital. He was always there, actually. And so, yeah, she said the following day, they would have to do the endoscopy. And I was like, okay, fine. I stayed in hospital, and the following day you look handsome, baby.
Thank you.
So I had to go now to the examination room. I don't know, I had to go there the following day. But okay, let me start on this day when she was telling us that I would have to get the endoscopy. Babe came back home, came to the hospital, and we stayed. In Germany, actually, I don't know if there are visiting hours, but my husband was staying there as long as he wanted. He would leave at night around 10 and come back in the morning whenever he wanted to. So I was really surprised by that. So then they told me that I would have to take laxative, because the endoscopy, when they do the endoscopy, my stomach has to be clean properly. And so I had to take laxative that whole day. I only had breakfast on that day. That was it. I had breakfast, and then that's when the doctors now discovered that my hemoglobin has dropped, and I had to do the endoscopy as soon as possible. So fine, I took the laxative, and I was hungry the whole day. I did not eat. But yeah, on the following day, I went to the theater, or the examination room, where they do the endoscopy. I can't bend this at the back. I don't know why. I'm struggling. So yeah, I went the following day. And when you do the endoscopy, they put you to sleep. You get anesthesia, so they put you to sleep. When I arrived in that room, what I remember is the nurses came to take me, pushed my bed to just downstairs. And I remember seeing, I don't know, I think a nurse. She introduced herself, and some nurses don't speak English, but doctors, they speak English. But this doctor in that examination room, he was not speaking English. He introduced himself in English, and in German. And I think he was explaining what he's gonna do, and I was like, just like, okay, fine. And then the nurse, because I had this needle on my arm the whole time I was in hospital, she just she put something in. She put something on that the anesthesia.
I'm sorry, she's gone.
It's okay.
Oh, 1 second.
I wonder when they're coming for housekeeping. Yeah.
After 12 they're coming.
Yeah, so she put the anesthesia on this arm where the needle was the whole time, and I just remember like something rushing. It just felt like something was rushing just to the back of my head. That's how I could explain the anesthesia. It was my first time getting anesthesia, and so it just felt like it was rushing to the back of my head. After that, I was gone. I don't know what they did. I can't explain what happened there in that room, but before the doctor explained everything, and there was a form that I had to sign in my husband. Did you sign that form, babe, for the endoscopy?
Yeah.
I think we both signed that, and that's all I remember. But they did explain that it's basically a camera that goes to the stomach and like to the back, TMI on your bum. And it goes inside to check if there was internal bleeding. And that was it. I don't know what happened after they put me to sleep, but they did exactly what they explained before I went the previous day. And so, the doctor came. Oh, I woke up. I don't know. I think I woke up after an hour or so. I was still downstairs. They kept me downstairs. And then the nurses came just before I was about to wake up. I remember her touching my arm, saying, when I was about to wake up, I could hear people, but I couldn't wake up. But then at some point I got up, I managed to wake up. And then I remember her touching my arm, saying, "Are you okay?" And "Alles gut." She was German. She was just like, "Alles gut." And then I was not responding because I wanted to respond, but I couldn't. But then when they pushed me to the bed, and then I woke up later. And when I woke up, my husband came soon after, because when I was going to the theater, he was still at work. But he came soon after, and the doctor also came now to explain how everything went. And the doctor came before my husband, and she was showing me some what they saw inside. They said gladly there's no internal bleeding, but there is a little bit of infection inside my stomach, but it's not something alarming, and they're not going to give me antibiotics because it doesn't look serious. Maybe it's something that the body could fight, but they also took samples from it to see what it is exactly, that infection. And and so on the third day I slept in the hospital. I was able to sleep now after the endoscopy, and I stayed in hospital the following day. Now on the third day, I stayed there for 3 days, 2 nights. And then the doctor told us in the afternoon that I could go home because the results, they still took more blood tests, but the results were still bad, but not as bad as they were the previous day and the day that I arrived. So there was improvement, and they said the iron infusion, it takes time. It takes time for the body to accept this iron in your body. So I was allowed to go home, and they also gave us the results, but I still have to run more blood tests and go to the gynae, and they will tell me maybe I don't know if I will have to be on something. But in the meantime, my husband bought me iron tablets that I'm taking, which he says are good. So I think I'll be fine, but I feel better. But when I went back home now, after I got discharged, when I went back home, I started feeling sick. I was throwing up. I had diarrhea. I was just not okay. I was feeling dizzy. There was just a lot going on. And I feel better now. I feel better. that has been the reason why I was not able to post or vlog or do anything for the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That has been the reason. So when the results came now, my hemoglobin was still 7.6? The hemoglobin when we left the hospital on the results. 7.6. Which is still very low. Because it's extremely low. So
I go for blood donation and I get measured this, then I have a value at around 16.
If you can hear him, he says he's donating blood. He donates blood, and he says when he goes for blood donation, his value is 16. Mine is 7.6. I don't donate blood, and when I left the hospital, I was not on my period, so still don't know what is happening with me. And the funny thing is, because he donates blood, I was also motivated to donate blood. So I asked him to register me so that I could also donate blood. I don't know what was going to happen if I ended up doing that, because it was not a good idea or a brilliant idea for someone who doesn't have blood to think of donating blood. But I didn't know. But yeah, maybe I will keep you guys updated about this whole thing. But as my husband said, when you see people struggling on the streets of internet, don't be quick to diagnose or give advice what they should or should not be doing, because if I had listened to that person and tried to push myself to the gym, maybe I wouldn't be here filming this video right now. It wouldn't have been a good idea. But anyways, that is my story. I'm gonna try and be consistent now. I'm gonna try and post, and yeah, I think after this video I already have footage. I don't know if I should post the footage that I have, post then other footage on the next vlogs. But yeah, that is my story, my beautiful people. My experience at the hospital, it was good actually. It was so good. The doctors were so kind. Yes, some doctors were not speaking English, or no, let me not lie. Doctors were speaking English, but nurses, some of them were not speaking English, but they were speaking German. But I think my German has improved, because I could understand what they're saying, but when I'm speaking broken German, but they could also understand. And I also had there's a lady that came because we were sharing a room. She was an old lady. She was speaking German, and we were communicating the whole time in German. And I was just so proud of myself. My husband was also proud of me, because she is not speaking English at all. And she's talkative. We were talking the whole time. She had so many questions, and I was able to answer her, and she was understanding at least what I was trying to say. But anyways, I think I should at least close this video here, and we need to go grab something to eat. We're gonna go eat out and explore the city, and yeah. But anyways, I love you guys. I'm looking at myself in the mirror there. Or if maybe you're wondering, this is the brand that I'm using for this. It's quite good. I bought it recently and I'm loving it. So if you have questions, or if you have anything that you would like to know or see in the vlogs, let me know, and yeah, I will update you guys. But don't feel bad for me. Don't feel sad for me. I'm absolutely fine now. I feel better, so don't think that I'm still sick. But anyways, I love you all, and I will see you on another video. I'm just gonna show you my husband, and he's gonna say goodbye to you guys. He's a little bit taller, but can you see me? And he's been taking really good care of me, and I love you.
I love you too.
And you want to say bye?
Bye. That's
true. That's true, baby.
I will be back in a minute, okay, Mama?
You going out? Okay, I'll be ready when you leave.
Alrighty, perfect.
I mean, when you come back, I'll be ready.
Okay, ready. I love you.
I love you. I don't know what I'm doing with this, but I think it helps with the split ends. I will see you guys on another video. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I love you all so much, and I will see you on another one.